fly away, still gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way.
Boston's best variety, 90s, 2000s, and now.
Big 104.1, Boston's best variety.
Information and events, visit RW Corner Market. Step inside and pick up 3 essential waters for only $7.
Every weekend in July, the next, and right now you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality of
Clock. Get delivered by 7:30. Your key with Meineke. Meineke doing car.
Bounties, or oysters, or some great specials. The actors union, they're joining the writers union in striking, and there's some serious implications for it. In fact, sort of in a parallel discussion, Bob Iger was on CNBC yesterday and had some really interesting comments about really the future of the television and entertainment content business, and where Disney, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, where that may be going. And I think that's really informative both to a general discussion, but also to the conversation around the SAG-AFTRA strike that's taking place now that has really shut down Hollywood, which, I don't know how much Hollywood content you consume, or if you're, a truly devoted WPRO listener and you sit there all day and you don't consume anything other than WPRO, that's fine too. But you new Hollywood content, it's not going anywhere right now. It's at a standstill. So all that on the table, plus much more. Mike Pence had some interesting comments in a forum of sorts yesterday. Tucker Carlson was moderating it, and they got into a little bit of a back and forth on January 6th. And I'm always intrigued by Mike Pence's reaction or thoughts or comments on January 6th. It's hardly anybody else had the front row seat to that madness and was a central player. Remember, hang Mike Pence, and somehow Mike Pence has the constitutional authority to overturn the 2020 presidential election, all that nonsense. So that came up yesterday in a discussion with Tucker Carlson, so we may get to that. And of course our open forum at 5 o'clock where we can discuss anything that happened this week. That all before the big return of Dan York at 3 o'clock on Monday. So Bill Bartholomew here with you on the Dan York Show. 438-9776, 438-WPRO, Bill at ripodcast.com, and of course at Bill Bartholomew on Twitter and Instagram. All right, Ken Hopkins, he's the mayor of Cranston. He's been advocating for a transition from the branding of Topgolf, the new Topgolf coming to Cranston, currently now known as Topgolf Rhode Island. It was going to be Topgolf Providence. In fact, the website address is still, if you go to Topgolf's website, you'll still see it's Topgolf Providence. They'll fix all that up. They'll get their IT people on it. They'll make that all work out together. So everybody wins. Is this a good thing, or is this just make the state of Rhode Island look foolish that we are this petty, that we're going to fight over names, we're going to trivialize things? What's your take on that at 438-9776, 438-WPRO? Here's Hopkins in a press conference addressing this matter just a few short hours ago.
And as you've seen based on the conversation over the last couple of days, that the people of Cranston are very excited and very proud to have a venue like Topgolf to come into our city. We're delighted to share that Topgolf has agreed to designate their new home in Cranston as Topgolf Rhode Island, TGRI. Welcome to Topgolf Rhode Island, and they are not going to use the Topgolf Providence logo that we had been basically calling on them and asking them not to do that. Again, this is no slight on the city of Providence. Mayor Smiley has been a good friend of mine since his administration took over. We've worked very hard with him as neighbors to make sure that everything worked out for both of us. And again, this is no slight on Mayor Smiley. He's a good friend of mine. I am greatly appreciated for the cooperation from the Topgolf executives. I got a call yesterday afternoon. It was a three-way conference with Kelly Coach from Capianatos and Matt Smith, the corporate executive representing Topgolf. They listened to my cry about naming rights, and again, I'm proud of my city. I wanted to respect the people that live in this city. We've put up with an awful lot for the last 18 months in terms of traffic, construction, noise, dirt, and I felt it was my position as the leader of the city to fight for our city, and we welcome Topgolf. We are so glad, and I think this isn't only just a boon for our city. Naming it Topgolf Rhode Island is a boon for the state of Rhode Island, and I'm sure the governor is very pleased that that's happening as well. Like I said earlier, this is the greatest venue for sports and family entertainment since Rocky Point closed. There is no Topgolf anywhere in the area between here and New Jersey, and we're so happy that they decided to build it here in Cranston. We're on the same page with the Topgolf corporate executive, and I met with him and talked to him yesterday, and we're looking forward to our opening hopefully next month.
TGRI, I'll tell you what, TGIF, because this story needs to go away. This is just so embarrassing on so many levels. But again, I say that. At the same time, I have empathy for the mayor, and I support his standing up for his city, and that's his job, too, to fight for his city. It's like, I kind of really do see both sides. I just wonder if other people see this on the outside. You know, you got this Matt Smith, who he referenced there, Hopkins referenced in that press conference, that is the senior director of real estate at Topgolf down in Texas, and you know he's been there according to his LinkedIn for 6 years. You got to wonder, you know, people like this. I mean, the eye rolls that must take place, you know, when they think of this guy now, or they think of Rhode Island. I mean, it's just got to be like, oh my God. I mean, please. And the idea that this is going to be the greatest family entertainment venue since Rocky Point. I mean, is it? I don't know. Maybe you've been to a Topgolf. I've never been there. I look on their website and I see a bunch of seemingly happy actors that have been, you know, guys who have been paid for photo shoots and girls who have been paid for photo shoots. They do a great job of looking happy, but it looks like you just go and smack golf balls and have drinks and, I don't know, eat fried food. Sounds like Dave and Buster's with golf clubs to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will be the greatest thing ever. It'll save Rhode Island. I mean, forget about the Paw Sox. Who needs soccer, right? FCRI? No, thank you. We have TGRI. This may be the future right here, folks. 438-9776, 438-WPRO. Is this ridiculous, or is this good job by Ken Hopkins of advocating for a city? Yeah, I truly don't know. I think that I say it should go away, but at the same time, maybe it's an interesting case study. And he mentions the governor. The governor's pleased about this. Is the governor monitoring this? Is this being monitored in the State House? Do they have a situation room set up in the basement of the State House right now, where somebody's literally, you know, on an hour-by-hour basis getting updates on this, getting debriefed? It's just the type of foolishness that, you know, you wonder if it just makes us look silly. I don't know. Maybe you have a thought. 322. When we come back, your thoughts on that. Plus, hey, let's take a look at the latest in shoreline access. Why not? It's Bill B. in for York.
The Dan York Show. WPRO. The voice of Southern New England is never more than a click away on the TuneIn app.
Looking for your next job? Express can help. Express Employment Professionals has put more than 10 million people to work in the last 40 years in all types of industries. With competitive pay and no fee to help you find a job, what are you waiting for? Visit expresspros.com today.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other business